I am exactly 12 weeks out from my next competition in Europe, in France to be exact, and I wanted to document my progression again. Number one, I can store it online, don't have to store it on my computer. I can look back on it, and maybe someone else can learn from it as well. So, those are the reasons I'm actually doing this. So if you can learn something from this, great. If not, that's fine too. So with the Canadian Championships, I just did an 8-week countdown, my 8-week progression. So we may as well start from the Canadian Championships, which I did not win. I came in 5th, and although I'm not, exactly pleased about it, I'm not completely disappointed either, for numerous reasons. Number one, I did have COVID going into it. The week prior, I had COVID, and my workouts I wasn't able to work out near what I normally do, that intensity, etc. And so you can only do what you can only do. Now, I don't like making up excuses, so I also got to say that they did change the age limit from 50 to 45, so I was competing against guys at least 10 years younger than me. And although I know I wouldn't have come first, I might have done better than 5th. I do know the guy that came in first. Congratulations. I remember thinking too, when they dropped the age limit to 45, I was like, please do not let him be 45 this year, because he'll beat me. And I knew that last year going in when I was competing 50 plus and he was competing 40 plus. Anyway, on Instagram, he's Zulu Workout. Great guy again. Congratulations. Maybe we can work out sometime next time you're in Ontario or if I'm in Quebec. So let's start here. I don't know why, but people like to abuse their bodies. And what I mean is, after that competition, I was a little disappointed, and I got into some food that I just shouldn't have gotten into, like 3 or 4 pieces of pizza, some cookies. I'm just reading this here because I remembered it. A couple of ice cream sandwiches, and some peanut butter and jam on rye toast. I had like half a loaf of that before I went to bed that night. And when I went to bed, I woke up in the middle of the night and I spent probably 2 or 3 hours in fetal position on the floor because my body just wasn't used to all that stuff, specifically the ice cream. Because I think I had a bowl of ice cream as well. And so after I lied on the floor for a couple hours, apparently I wasn't going to vomit, so I went back to bed in fetal position, woke up in the morning, still bloated, and I didn't abuse myself so much the next day. I had a normal breakfast, oatmeal and egg whites, but then I did have a couple of more pieces of pizza for breakfast. I was fine. I had a couple more ice cream sandwiches. That wasn't too bad. And by that time it was noon, and I decided to go grab a chicken sandwich, some fast food chicken, down a place here in Hamilton called Hutch's on the beach. And it was too much of a lineup because it was a hot day, so I just went and grabbed an ice cream, which didn't agree with me. It was an extra large peanut butter and chocolate fudge sundae. And I remember taking off my shirt, walking down the beach, eating it, and people staring at me like, how the hell is he eating that? Long story short, I gained a lot of weight. Actually, it might have been the nachos too I had for dinner. I had some Dorito nachos. I made them with Doritos, 3 types of cheese, some chicken, and stuff like that. So I was bloated all day because my body just wasn't used to having to process that kind of a junk food. It's really interesting how some people can eat like that almost every day or every weekend and not even notice it. But I noticed it. I just bloated right up. It took me about 2 weeks to burn that off. So for people who actually eat like that on a regular basis and they go to the gym, it's no wonder why they're not losing weight. But nonetheless, that's their story. That's their journey. Mine is here, 12 weeks out now, and I am suffering body dysmorphia still. I haven't wanted to take off my shirt since the beach. The only reason I did it is because I was still ripped from the competition the night before. And so I felt comfortable in my own skin. Right now I don't, but I am going to show you what I look like in just a second. I've been working real hard on my abs because they weren't where I needed them to be completely. I worked on them the week prior to that national competition. They weren't where I really needed them to be, not wanted, but needed to be. And so I've upped my ab routine from about 550 reps per day of crunches and sit-ups and leg raises and things like that to about 900 per day. And hopefully we'll be able to see a difference. So here we are 12 weeks out. I'm just going to take off my shirt and we'll see what I look like. And then I'll check in with my coach and see what he says. So here we are. Yeah. what I see and what you see, I'll guarantee you, are two different things. I look at myself in terms of, am I stage ready? Obviously not. Okay, because what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing my love handles, I'm seeing some fat and water here and through here, and I'm just not as full as I'd like to be, or as full as I'm going to become my next competition. I can see my chest is sort of drooping, my biceps aren't full, my shoulders are also kind of droopy. In my eyes, it's the equivalent of standing like this to like this, okay? But I'm not standing, even standing like this, I can see it, so we have to work on getting myself full, and of course size. I've got 12 weeks, so I can gain some size too, because if you remember summer holidays when you were a kid, and you'd work out all summer, go back to school, and people would notice, there you go. So I basically have summer holidays to work out, except for it's starting in September now. So this is what I look like right now, and we'll see what I look like next week. If you got anything from this, great. If not, that's fine too. And I'll talk to you next week or see you next week. Cheers.